Hello, everyone. My name is always Asmal. Welcome to another episode of Tooways to Skin a Cat, a show where we talk career experiences, entrepreneurship, and investments. The main aim is to show that there's more than one way to be successful other than just climbing the corporate ladder. We are live on LinkedIn and YouTube, and the show will be available on the podcast by tomorrow morning. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on that notification bell to get automatically notified when the next episode comes out. If you're joining us live, drop a one in the comments so that we know we're not talking to ourselves. And if you're watching the recording, drop a two in the comments. My guest for this week is Cecilia Aluvilu, Chartered Accountant and Finance Executive at Geka Pharma in Namibia. Cecilia, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Wes.
Let's jump straight into it. Tell us your story, where do you come from, and even outside of work, who is Cecilia Aluvilu? Give us that backstory.
Thank you once again. So I'm based in Namibia right now in Windhoek, but I'm originally from a small village in the northern part of Namibia called Onamaunda. So that's where I grew up, and that is where my family is. And I come from a family of 6. I have 2 brothers and a twin sister. So I would describe myself as a go-getter, and I think that will also come through when I tell my story in the next few minutes. And I'm also a philomath. I love learning. So growing up, my dad was a mine worker. So he used to come for holidays in December. So he would come with a lot of books and newspapers. So that is where I got my love for reading from. So I basically, because growing up in the village, there was no TV. So the only thing available back then was the newspaper and the books. So I'm somebody who likes, I enjoy watching reality TV shows. So I love watching drama, but I don't like drama in my life. And I like watching documentaries. So I'm currently watching the Honeymoon Maida show. It's on GSTV. And I also like watching anything by Dick Wolf. So in my free time, sometimes I run for fun, and I also run for fitness purposes. Sometimes just to unwind after a long day at work and all that. So I am an alumna of NMMU, and I am a CA, like you have mentioned. And I'm currently a finance executive at Geka Pharma. Geka is a top medicine wholesaler in Namibia. So we distribute medicine to the private and the public sector. That is now the pharmacies, the private hospitals, and the doctors, the doctor practices, and we also sell to the central medical stores, which is like a stores that distributes them to the public hospitals in Namibia, countrywide. And we then also sell sometimes at special requests to public hospitals directly. So yeah, so that's me in a nutshell.
And you touched on it a little bit, but so how did someone who comes from a village and now in Windhoek, how did you end up at NMMU? Because that's
Yeah.
not close by, that's very far.
It's not. It's like 34 hours. Remember, but I said I grew up in the north, but then I had to move to Windhoek, which is the capital city of Windhoek of Namibia, to start high school this side. And now that is where I got introduced to accounting, and I immediately fell in love with it. I enjoyed it, and one day, out of the blue, a teacher comes in. It was a maths teacher. He was like, "No, you guys are going to write a math test, and whoever gets 100%, they go attend this career event." And I must say, I never got 100% for a test before. But on that particular day, I managed to get 100%. And I think for me, I still think it was fate, you know. So I managed to then attend the career event, and again, as fate would have it, one of the guest speakers was a CA, and this is where I first heard of the chartered accountancy profession. And I must say, I was really intrigued, and it was like sort of like a seed was planted in my mind. And after that, I started researching on more about the career, and I also started researching on where I could actually where I could study this degree and the funding and all those things. And that is how I came across NMMU. Back then, still the school accounting is renowned. I think it has a good pass rate, and I then tried to apply for studies at NMMU with my grade 12 results. But unfortunately, I did not get in. When I followed up, I was told that they never got my application form. But luckily, I applied at a local university here in Namibia, the University of Namibia, even though it was for general accounting. So my preference was still NMMU, and my career of choice was still the CA qualification. So fast forward, remember I got my application never reached an NMMU. So then they advised me that, okay, just continue with just enroll at your local university and try to reapply again. And that's exactly what I did. I spent 1 year at the University of Namibia under the general accounting course. And then I tried to reapply to NMMU, but I was still told that the School of Accounting was full, because I remember I applied late in November. Surely by then the application process was already complete, and it made sense that the course was full. So then the only option that I was given was, no, you can come back. You can actually come in for the winter intake, which is usually in July. So you start in second semester the following year. So I continued with my studies at the University of Namibia. In my second year, I finished my first semester of second year, and then because I got now funding, I managed to secure funding, and I got space in the School of Accounting. I had to pack up and leave. So that was just me again taking the leap of faith, and really just going after my dream. And because at that point, it's the only thing that I wanted. So I left. I went to NMMU, and I forfeited the 1 year and the semester that I did at the local university, and I had to start afresh. I must say it was really hurtful. But then it was really hurtful at that point. And it was also unpopular for somebody who was doing so well in that course to just leave, because surely you were halfway through the course. So why don't you just finish and go when you complete your qualification? But I'm really grateful, because then my family supported my decision, and I think I'm grateful to my family, because they always tell me or encourage me to go after my dreams. Okay. So I found myself in NMMU. I had to do first year for 1 year and for 1 year and another semester, because I went in the middle of the year. But in hindsight, actually the 1 year and 5 in the semester that I forfeited actually came in handy for me, because then in high school, I only did accounting until grade 10. And after that, I continued with science modules. So I'm also grateful in hindsight for that experience.
Okay, then it helped in the
So
end.
yeah,
Okay, and maybe can you maybe say for other Namibians, what would be
yes.
your advice to them for those coming out of school? Try to study in your own in Namibia, or try to come to South Africa or somewhere else and do the tertiary qualification.
I think I would advise them to try to go straight to South Africa if they get admission in the South African university. However, we also have back then when I enrolled at the University of Namibia, that the CA course was not introduced yet. So fortunately now they can actually enroll for the CA course here in Namibia, and then they only need to leave for the CTA.
Okay, okay,
So
and
yeah.
and tell us a little bit about the chartered accounting qualification in Namibia. Is it the same like South Africa? Is the journey the same? Do you have the same global options after qualifying?
You know what? I'm not too sure about that because I didn't go through the course myself. But from what I've seen, it's actually more or less the same, and they actually produce good students or CAs. So yeah, because it shows in the ITC and the APC results as well. So yeah.
Okay. If anybody's
Yeah.
got any questions for Cecilia, please add them to the comment section now. We'll answer all the questions towards the end. I see on your LinkedIn profile, you've also got a SEMA qualification. I think there are a few different ones. So tell us which one you studied and why you chose to study that in conjunction with your CA qualification.
So I studied. I decided to pursue SEMA simply because I enjoyed management accounting, and financial management. So that's the first reason, and the second reason was that I didn't see myself in the auditing industry. So I already saw myself. I always wanted to end up in the business and to taking decisions or making decisions, strategic decisions for businesses. And that is exactly what I did. So immediately after I wrote my ITC, I decided to enroll for SEMA, and I had to pack it a bit because I wanted to focus on my APC. I didn't want to jeopardize my chances of passing APC, and it also became a bit difficult to jungle the articles and APC and SEMA on the other hand. So but however, I'm only one exam away from qualifying, so I'm looking forward to that. And it
Okay.
actually became it came in handy with the current position of the finance executive. So yeah, it was yeah.
And let's go back to talking a little bit more about Namibia. What are the job opportunities like there for accountants from Namibia and from South Africa?
Job opportunities are more or less the same as what SA offers. Maybe the Namibian market is a lot smaller. But what I've experienced also is that the market has become so saturated, and opportunities outside audit are also not that many compared to opportunities in audit, because then with audit you have SAPRO, you have you can go to the UK and all those kind of things with audit opportunities. But then in Namibia, they are not that there are not so many opportunities as I thought there would be, especially outside audit.
Okay, I mean that gives
Yeah.
us a good understanding. And maybe for the South Africans who haven't traveled outside of the country yet, what do you recommend would be the first places they should visit when they go to Namibia?
Sorry?
But for the South Africans who haven't left South Africa yet, if they wanted to visit Namibia, what would be the first places they should visit?
I mean, they can visit. It depends on their preference, but I would advise them to visit the coastal area, And also, the southern parts of Namibia also has beautiful sites and all that. So it really depends on where you want to go to go, because I'm sure with the coastal area, the what South Africa has beaches as well. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
but we have
so the
some nice we have some beautiful sand dunes. So I think the coastal area will be the first destination they should they should visit.
that sounds like fun. And this is a question I like to ask all my guests. What is one piece of advice you would give your younger self?
My younger self, just trust the process. Yeah, just trust the process. Whatever and whatever you're going through is preparing you for the next best big event in your life. So yeah, just trust the process and believe in yourself, and believe in your abilities, and don't be afraid to take that leap of faith.
I'm going through, I see a lot of comments, people enjoying the show, but nobody's got any questions. So we'll skip them for now in case one or two questions do come through. But
Okay.
any last few words from you or anything we didn't discuss that you'd like the audience to know?
Yeah, I'm quite creative. So I think in the next few years, I would like to tap on the creative side of things and just see where that takes me. And I'm really, because I think if you given if you have God-given talents, you should try by all means to exploit that. And I think I've done so well in the professional side of things, but now I need to see what my creative side will bring, and what impact I can bring in the world. And my other projects are that I have. I'm a risk and audit committee member of Namibia Investment Fund. It's also called NIF. It's a non-profit organization. So it's basically a fund that was founded to provide funding, or which aims to provide funding for startup capital. So I also look forward to giving back to the societies through such contribution. Yeah.
Okay. So you've got lots of responsibility. Let's put it that way.
I do. And I also do some coaching for aspiring CA. So yeah.
Okay. I think that's a great way to end it. A reminder to everyone, the show has been live on YouTube and should be available on podcast by latest tomorrow morning. If you are watching on YouTube or listening on a podcast and you feel that it's added value, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on that notification bell so that you get automatically notified when the next episode comes out. Cecilia, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks everyone for joining us for another episode of Tooways to Skin a Cat. Goodbye.